So boom, Camp Gabriel, like I said. Listen, if you look on my videos, you see most of the jails I'm speaking about. You see the location of the jail in the joint, right? Ain't no location. I don't know if this jail is even still open, but when you put Camp Gabriel in on maps, it doesn't pop up. If you put it in on like on certain other stuff, if you put it in on Google Maps, it pop up with Department of Corrections, Camp Gabriel. It doesn't say correctional facility, but on YouTube maps, it doesn't even show up at all. That's because this jail is off the map type status. Before I talk about how I went to other dorms and other buildings, when I was still in building 18, right? I remember an incident that happened, right? And all the dudes that was in there, I didn't really know how serious some of the dudes that I was associating with was. You feel me? Like, I'm young and naive, and a lot of these dudes is killers. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So I remember one time, we was in the yard, and at this time, my nigga he done gathered, like, you know what I mean, a team of soldiers. Like, he got a little team of soldiers, niggas that's hanging around him that they ready to get busy out of command. You understand what I'm saying? So it was this other kid that I knew that was from Brooklyn too. And me and son got mad cool. We was in the dorm together. Know what I mean? Me and son was polying. He was a big brolic motherfucker. You understand? And that was my dude. But he knew me like that, but he ain't know the nigga you and the niggas that fuck with son. He didn't know them niggas like that. So one time, I don't know what had happened, but he had said something slick to you, and you was in the yard with about 4 other niggas, and these 4 other niggas was just straight shooters. You understand what I'm saying? So you is not no big dude. Like, you is brolic, but he not. Yeah, you is not no big dude. Like, he brolic, but he not no tall dude. You feel what I'm saying? The dude that I'm talking about, he was a big, tall, brolic, crazy brolic arms type of nigga. You understand what I'm saying? So he said something slick to the nigga you, and he didn't know. He don't know you like that, and he don't know what's really going on in this jail and what type of shit niggas is into in this jail. So boom, the nigga says some shit. So the nigga you turns around, he say some shit to you, and the nigga you turn around, he like, yo, who you talking to, my nigga? So the nigga was like, what? You heard what I said? So the nigga you was like, what? And that nigga walks up to son and these 4 goon niggas is with son. Son just backs out the orange box cutter. Click, 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 click. And when he backed out the shit, clicked it, all 4 of the niggas that he was with backed out they shit, clicking them. Click, 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 click. So all you heard was 4 different box cutters clicking at the same time. Click, 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 click. And them niggas all surrounded the nigga, and the nigga you was like, yo, son, you fucking know me, nigga? You know me, nigga? Who you talking to, nigga? So the nigga, I'ma keep it real with you. Son wasn't no soft nigga, but he wasn't prepared for that situation. Like I said, he don't know the type of artillery niggas was running around in the jail with. You feel what I'm saying? So when 5 niggas backed out orange box cutters on this nigga like they was on the corner of a Brooklyn street, click, 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 click. Son just was stuck for a second. And he didn't really know what to say. And I'm like, damn, they about to cut this nigga, and you know, this nigga know my family from the streets and all type of shit. And at first I wasn't gonna say shit because I felt like it was too late to say something, but then I was like, nah, I can't let this shit go down. So I was like, niggas was about to tear son up. So I was like, yo, you. I said, son, don't do that, son. I said, don't do that, son. Son know my family. I know son from the streets. I mean, I gotta see son in the streets. Don't do that. So the nigga you was like, this nigga don't fucking know me, nigga. So the nigga you was like, this nigga don't fucking know me, nigga. Know what I mean? Better watch your fucking mouth when you talking to a nigga like me, nigga. Real talk. You better watch your fucking mouth when you talking to a nigga like me, nigga, cause you could die in this fucking jail. I got in between niggas. I was like, yo, chill, son. Just chill, just chill, just chill. So the nigga you was like, yo, word of mother, son, you gotta stop fucking saving these niggas, man. You gotta fucking stop saving these niggas. Cause I had a habit of saving niggas from getting cut up and stabbed up, my nigga. Like, I used to be feeling sorry for niggas. Because niggas, like I said, used to be coming into jail thinking that it was sweet. And then they would bump into the wrong type of niggas. So the nigga you was tight. He like, yo, son, word of mother, son, you gotta stop fucking saving these niggas, son. You gotta stop fucking saving these niggas, son. Some of these niggas need to get cut the fuck up. You feel me? So I'm like, yo, son, like I said, man, I know son from the town. Like, I mean, just chill. He like, yeah, all right. Next time it ain't gonna be no chill. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, I ain't even understand the severity of the type of niggas that I was fucking with. You heard? Cause niggas was on go time, heavy. You heard? But the jail, Camp Gabriel, it moved different from other jails, my nigga. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Them outside clearance, like, first of all, if you wasn't on the outside clearance crew and you wasn't on the crew, your ass had to be in the gym or the yard all day, and it be fucking freezing, so everybody gotta be in the gym, and that shit was boring as a motherfucker, my nigga, in that gym. This jail, this shit was different from other jails, nigga. It wasn't no MTV, BT, none of that good shit. Not in this jail, my nigga. It wasn't nothing. We had like 4 motherfucking channels, nigga, on TV. The dopest shit that came on was The Simpsons. Niggas was so stressed out, niggas look forward to The Simpsons coming on. You understand what I'm saying? Because everything else was garbage, my nigga. Them niggas had like 4 channels in the whole jail, and it was garbage channels. This shit was 5 minutes from Canada. Like, it just was it was a fucked up jail. You understand what I'm saying? So niggas be mad reckless and antsy. But like I said, eventually they moved me to another dorm. You heard? And I was still fucking with the nigga you and all them niggas, but they was in another dorm now, and now they moved me to a dorm where I'm across the street from them niggas. Like, yo, this jail was so crazy, my nigga. Bears used to come into jail at night. Like, real talk. Like, bears, we would look out the window and bears would be in the garbage. Like, shit was wild. Big ass grizzly type of bears. Like, nigga, you don't want those. Niggas ain't want no problems with them shits. Like, this jail, like, son, this shit had wildlife. Like I said, this shit is like cut out of a forest, my nigga. Like a piece of chunk cut out of a forest, and they just made a jail. My nigga, I seen mosquitoes, son, like we in motherfucking the Brazilian rainforest. I seen insects and creatures that I never saw in my life. Like, one time, I swear I seen a caterpillar in this jail, my nigga. That shit looked like a caterpillar that be in a cartoon. You know how they draw a caterpillar, big, giant, green caterpillar, lime green, neon green shit? That's the type of shit that I was seeing walking around the jail. I'm like, nigga, I ain't even think caterpillars like that was real, my nigga. Them shits don't look like that in the city. In Camp Gabriel, them shits was looking like out of a cartoon, my nigga. You understand? Like, the creature game and that shit, that's how you know the shit was in the middle of a forest. The creature game, the insect game and that shit was different. You heard? And like I said, forget about the winters, my nigga. It was so cold, they had a weight shack. My nigga, that shit, yo, they had pig iron. Anybody know what pig iron is? They had pig iron. They ain't have hollow weights in Camp Gabriel. Them niggas had like Olympic weights. They had pig iron. Pig iron, my nigga, that shit is different. You heard? And them shits used to be ice cold, the dumbbells, everything. Nigga, I used to be out. That's when I first started working out. I used to be out in that fucking cold, so cold. Niggas used to be like, even niggas like you used to be like, son, you fucking crazy, my nigga. Niggas, we had a movie. They used to have movies in the cafeteria on the weekends. Sometimes I ain't go. If it was a trash movie, I ain't go. I just be, even when it was a good movie, I wanted to get brolic, so I used to just be working out. Even that nigga, you used to be like, yo, son, you're a fucking maniac, my nigga, in that cold. You can't be, nigga used to be like, you can't be lifting steel in that cold like that, my nigga. You gonna fuck your joints up and your bones up. But I was a young nigga, so I ain't care. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in there, I'm out there trying to motherfucking get some muscles and shit, pause. But it's like, yo, you know what I mean? Camp Gabriel was a crazy fucking jail, my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And it was a lot of things going down. But like I said, eventually they moved me to another dorm. You know what I mean? And when I got to this dorm, this shit was like around the time when O.J. Simpson was on trial. You heard? This is when I was in this dorm, matter of fact. It was around the time when O.J. Simpson was on trial. And I was in horticulture in the jail. And I promise you, we was in horticulture and niggas ain't do nothing in horticulture but smoke dank. And motherfucking niggas would get the civilian niggas would just gamble with this nigga with poker all day. The nigga who ran horticulture, all these niggas would do was play poker with this nigga all motherfucking day. And we would sleep and smoke motherfucking weed. It was the sweetest program in the motherfucking world, my nigga. The sweetest program in the world, nigga. We used to just be walking off into the fucking woods and all type of shit, my nigga. Like, horticulture was sweet. But I remember when a nigga OJ beat that trial, we was standing around the TV in horticulture when they read the verdict. Niggas, I mean, this is when I was in, I think it's called Building 30 or Building 40. Whichever one was right across the street from Building 18, you heard? Nigga, OJ beat that trial, my nigga. Yo, niggas was like, oh shit, that nigga beat that shit. Everybody was happy, I'ma keep it real. You understand what I'm saying? You know the real reason why niggas was happy, because niggas was just tired of the racism in the police force, you feel me? So, I remember this, my word, nigga. Know what I mean? When OJ beat that trial, my nigga, we went back to the dorm, like after programs was over, police straight came in the dorm like this. Fucking niggers, get in your fucking cube, on the count. You fucking coons, get on the count, you fucking niggas. Like, they was letting it all hang out, my nigga. They was so mad that OJ beat that fucking case, my nigga. They was calling us niggas and coons, my nigga. And we was laughing like, they mad. Y'all niggas is mad. Real talk, my nigga. But they was straight calling us niggas and coons. And I mean, niggas who was there could tell you. My bro Steve-O was there. My bro Steve-O from Uptown was there. My nigga Papa Stopper was there from the Bronx. You heard? It was a bunch of dudes there that could verify. Police came through the door just straight calling niggas niggas. Yo, get y'all nigga asses in the motherfucking cube on the count. We ain't care. We was like, you mad. Y'all niggas mad. And make no mistake about it, Camp Gabriel, many of those police that worked in Camp Gabriel had that tattoo of the black baby with a noose around his neck. You heard? Many of them. And I ended up getting into a problem with a police who had the black baby, a dead black baby with a noose around his neck. Mad police up north got that shit. It's some Ku Klux Klan shit. It's like a Klan tat. So they used to be rolling up their sleeves to show they tat. So like we come in the mess hall, it used to be this one police, he's standing there with his sleeve rolled up so that we could see the dead black baby tattoo on his arm. You feel me? And that nigga used to have me tight. And eventually me and this nigga got into a problem. But that's coming in the later stories, you heard? But yeah, man, that's the type of jail Camp Gabriel was. And like I said, it's a story attached to every dorm. But when OJ beat that trial, my nigga, them police let that racism hang all the way out, my nigga. And we ain't give a fuck. We was like, fuck y'all niggas, you heard? Real fucking talk. I used to be doing some stupid shit in Camp Gabriel, right? When I was in this particular dorm. It was the type of dorm where it was a layout of just like, you know, like similar to Rikers Island, like just a bunch of beds. You heard? So it's not like no privacy, like a room or none of that like the other buildings. So I used to do stupid shit like, I've been sleepwalking all my life. Like when I was a kid, I used to get up. My mom's used to catch me going out the door. Like I'd be in my drawers, put my sneakers on, and I'd be unlocking the door going out the crib. Like my mom's used to have to like really watch me carefully because I used to sleepwalk my ass off. And now my 12-year-old daughter does that shit. She sleepwalks just like me. You feel what I'm saying? So, boom. So I used to be doing this dumb shit up north, nigga. This shit dangerous. I'd be sleepwalking up north. I'd be waking up, walking into people's cubes, talking crazy shit, half sleep. Niggas like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? So one night, I'm sleepwalking. I gets up out my motherfucking bed and I goes over to some other nigga's bed that I don't know at all, don't know this nigga at all. I walks up to this nigga bed, nigga, I'm asleep. I goes up to the nigga bed and just grabs his blanket and rips his whole blanket off of him. He grabbing his blanket like, yo, you asleep? This my blanket, you asleep? So I just snap out of the shit and wake up. I'm standing over this nigga bed, ripping the blanket off of his bed. I got his blanket in my hand. This nigga in his drawers under the blanket. I'm like, oh shit. Yo, my fault, my nigga. He like, yo, it's alright, it's cool, man. He said, you sleepwalking. I said, damn, I'm bugging out, my nigga. I'm walking up to random niggas, pulling their cover off their bed in the middle of the night. I'm doing crazy shit. You heard? So yeah, man. But yeah, I was in the dorm with some good dudes, like I said. My son Steve-O, that's a whole nother episode. Me and my nigga Steve-O. Steve-O was on the Zulu Nation shit. You feel what I'm saying? Me and the nigga Steve-O. Steve-O was the nigga who had the craziest tape collection in the jail. Like, now I mean, he was the library for any nigga who wanted something to listen to. They had to come to that nigga like, yo, son, he had like 1,000 tapes. So the whole dorm used to come to that nigga to borrow tapes. Know what I mean? But I had crazy tapes too, but it was nothing like Son collection. His shit was on a whole nother level. You heard? But I was in there with some good dudes, man. My nigga Papa Stopper from the Bronx. Pop was a deep motherfucker. We was in Franklin together. We was in H2 in Franklin together. And we landed up in the same jail. I think he was there before me. Now the nigga Pop was a deep nigga because check this shit out. This nigga had a gun charge. He had a drug charge and some other shit too, but he had a gun involved in his case. And at this time, they deaded anybody that had anything to do with any type of guns for any type of temporary release, work release, furlough, KSAT, whatever popping. If you had a gun involved in your shit, it was considered a violent crime and they deaded that shit, right? So this nigga Pop, he trying to get work release. This nigga the type of nigga, he ain't into, like, you know how niggas be all comfortable with they bid, like, fuck it, I'm bidding. Son was never like that. That nigga was like, nigga, I need to get out of here. I need to go home, nigga. It's too much money in the streets. I'm out there missing it. I need to go home. You feel me? My nigga Papa Stopper's a real nigga. He always been getting money from young. He been through some crazy shit too. Like, he might be on the show one day. But it's like, yo, son, and son was fucking with the nigga the nigga that the Woo was always shouting out. He was going up to see that nigga for his whole bid, you heard? So the nigga Pop, this nigga like, nigga, I'm gonna get that work release. So everybody like, son, you not gonna get work release. You got a gun charge, you got a violent history and all of that. You not gonna get work release. That nigga like this, man, listen, I need that work release. I'm getting that shit. So niggas is like, yo, this nigga bugged out. He wasting his time. Yo, this nigga kid, let me tell you, this dude taught me a lesson in determination and mind power. This nigga wrote the time allowance committee so many times explaining why he should still be eligible for work release. He wrote them niggas so many times. That nigga had his family, his girl, everybody contacting the nigga, the director of the time, the temporary release committee. He had his family and all type of shit getting at the temporary release nigga, to a point where this nigga started knowing him personally. The nigga who ran the temporary release program, he started knowing the nigga personally because he wrote him so many times. He read so many of this nigga letters. He started saying to himself, nah, I mean, this dude may not be so bad after all. My nigga, months go by. Niggas is like, yo, this nigga still trying to convince these niggas to change the law for him. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, niggas like, son, they changed the law for the state, my nigga. They're not gonna give you work release. You're bugging out. That nigga like, watch, nigga. Watch I get that shit. And that nigga wrote that nigga till my nigga, till that nigga became a personal friend. You heard? That nigga got work release and walked out that motherfucking door, nigga. You heard? And when I saw that, I said, this motherfucker here. I said, this nigga here just is the most stubborn nigga in the world. This nigga will never give up, my nigga. And he never gave up. And that nigga got that work release and went home to the streets, nigga. I was like, this nigga is serious, you heard? So that taught me a lesson. I said, yo, You can't never count yourself out, my nigga. If you're truly determined to do something, you can do it. And ain't nothing gonna stop you. No matter what the laws is, no matter what the rules is, it don't matter, nigga. The mind controls everything. And that's a fact. Shy, we both on Keep Lock. I got the Sony yellow Walkman that got two headphone jacks, so two people could listen to it at the same time. It's a cassette tape.
Yellow jump, the tough jump.
Yeah, so I had that in the streets back in the days.
Yellow
niggas tried to rob me.
Like the shit the construction workers have and
Yeah,
shit.
back in the days, I had the yellow waterproof Sony Walkman in Brownsville. I was like 12. Niggas tried to rob me. Two niggas ran down on me at Atlantic Avenue train station. I was walking to Atlantic Avenue. Two niggas ran up on me. They both pulled out two deuces. One had a deuce or a deuce 5, or both had deuce. I don't remember. And them niggas pulled the guns out of me, and he was like, "Yo, run that Walkman." And I wouldn't give that shit up. It was the stupidest shit I ever did as a kid because they could have killed me.
It was like having some beats back then, though. Like they wouldn't even understand that. That was like some beats, my nigga. For real, bro.
I waited
you
and
pull
wanted
a broad off having the motherfucking yellow Walkman off.
Real
no
talk.
Bullshit.
Like, nah, I got that shit for Christmas, and I wanted it for a whole year. Begged, stressed, finally got the shit. I wasn't giving it up, my nigga. So them niggas tried to rob me, and then I seen this dude from my projects, an old head from my projects, and he peeped what was going on. He was like, "Yo, you all right? What happened?" I mean, and then they was young kids too, so they ran. You feel what I'm saying? But they didn't get my Walkman. You know what I mean? But that was because niggas could have killed me for that shit. But back to the story, I made sure I had that same Walkman in jail. You feel me? Because I knew it had two jacks. You understand what I'm saying? So I go holler at my son, Shy. "Yo, son, I got that new Mobb Deep." He like, "What?" He jump off the bed. He like, "What?" I'm like, "Yo, I got the Infamous album." I said, "Yo, go get the headphones." So boom, we in the dorm. In the dorm, we allowed to walk around the dorm. We just can't leave the dorm. We really don't supposed to walk around the dorm, even with certain police, they not sweating that. So me and this nigga throw the cassette tape in. We put the both of the headphone jacks in. We throw the headphones in. I press play. Bang. You know, the first shit that come on, the nigga getting shot. "Yo, son, yo, get him to the hospital." Like, real talk, I remember my man just like, "Yo, son, I could feel the tension building up, my nigga. Yeah. I could feel the tension. It's gonna be a crazy album." And sure enough, that shit was outstanding. So we was spinning the dorm like niggas spin the yard. We had the headphones, the two headphones with the Walkman, and we just was spinning around in circles for an hour, just listening to that shit. Cause I couldn't sit still and listen to no shit like that. You feel me? So we just was walking around the dorm listening to that shit, vibing. And by the time we finished listening to that shit, my nigga, we was like, "Yo, I never heard no shit like this in my life, nigga. I'm not even in jail no more. I'm in the streets." That album had me feeling like I was back home in the streets. You understand what I'm saying? Because that was my age group and all of that. Like, you feel me? So just listening to that album, that shit walked me out of jail. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm back in the housing projects in New York. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Listening to that shit. So when we heard that album, it was so gangster. Like I said, Nas was out on his Illmatic vibe. He was spitting that heat and that gangster shit too. But these niggas, Prodigy, Havoc, Mobb Deep, they took it to some next level street shit.
Yeah, they brought a little grimy inside of Nas out, and then
exactly,
and Ray on it too, right?
Exactly. They made Nas, that Mobb Deep Infamous album. I don't give a fuck what nobody say on this planet. Anybody from Queensbridge, when they heard that album, that shit made everybody elevate their whole game up, my nigga. Everybody had to.